It is narrated from Sayyidina Imam Sufyan rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi that prolonged silence is the key to worship. Furthermore, Sayyidina Muhammad bin Wasi alayhi rahmatullahi nafi' has stated that he said to Sayyidina Malik bin Dinar rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, protecting the tongue is more difficult for a person than protecting the wealth. It is unfortunate that generally everybody is mindful of protecting his wealth, even though if wealth is lost, it is only a worldly loss. How sad that the mindset of protecting the tongue is very, very rare. Undoubtedly, as a result of not protecting the tongue, along with worldly losses, there is also the great risk of tribulations and difficulties in the hereafter. Dear Islamic brothers, dear viewers and listeners of Madani channel, it is an undeniable truth that the risk of embarrassment is very low in silence, if somebody observes silence. Whereas somebody who has the habit of speaking out of place is often compelled to beg forgiveness and apologize. Or he has the regret in his heart that if I had not spoken at that point, it would have been better, because as a result of me speaking, the hesitation of the other person was finished. I had to listen to bitter words. So and so got annoyed, so and so became unhappy, his feelings got hurt, and so his honor was neglected or diminished, etc. It is narrated from Muhammad bin Nadr Harithi rahmatullah ta'ala alayhi that honor or is lost because of talking excessively. In fact, it is better to regret on keeping silent than to regret after speaking. And it is better to regret after eating less than to regret after eating excessively. As the one who talks excessively suffers many calamities, and the one who has a habit of eating excessively disturbs his stomach, usually becomes a victim of obesity and suffers many other types of diseases, physical and spiritual. If for argument's sake, the person remains saved from illnesses in his youth, then after the youth passes away, he often becomes an embodiment of diseases. To learn about the harms of eating too much, excessive eating, the cure for obesity and much more, refer to the chapter of Faizan-e-Sunnat called Excellence of Hunger. Dear Islamic brothers, dear viewers and listeners of Madani channel, if we look at it, a blind person is much more secured than one who can see, because he remains secured from the sins of unlawful sightedness, unlawful seeing, such as staring at na-mahram or ghair-mahram women, looking at amrads with bad intention, watching films and dramas, and looking at the open knees and thighs of someone who wears shorts. In the same way, a person who is dumb, he also remains protected from many countless afflictions of the tongue. Amirul Mu'mineen, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, has stated, if only I had been dumb, but privileged to speak to the extent of performing dhikrullah. It is mentioned in Ihya'ul Ulum that Sayyidina Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu saw an excessively talkative woman, and he said, if she had been dumb, it would have been better for her. From this statement of the respected companion radiyallahu ta'ala anhu of our beloved and blessed Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, those Islamic sisters should particularly learn a lesson. Those who remain engrossed in chitter and chatter, in excessive talking, and do not tire of talking about different issues, unnecessary talk. If Islamic sisters applied the Kufl Medina, that spiritual lock of Medina, on their tongues, in the true sense, many issues such as domestic discords, conflicts amongst relatives, quarrels between daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, this would be resolved, and the entire household would become a center of peace, because most domestic discords result from the misuse of the tongue. Islamic brothers should also take note of this as well. If the mother-in-law scolds or reprimands her, the daughter-in-law, she should observe sabr and patience and tolerance only, and should not say even a single word to her mother-in-law in reply. Nor should she complain to her husband. She should not even tell anyone in her parents' house, and she should not even have a frown on her face. Nor should she vent her anger on her children or on the dishes or other kind of wares. Success will then fall at her feet. It is said, one silence beats 100. Similarly, if some daughter-in-law argues with her mother-in-law, then the mother-in-law should not do anything in reaction, but she should just observe silence and not complain to any member of the household, not even to her son. Insha'Allah Azza wa Jal, according to the saying, silence is golden. She will acquire ease and tranquility. If this Madani remedy of our Bapa Jan Shaykh al-Tariqat Amir Ahl Sunnah Damat Barakatum al-Aliyah is acted upon properly, then every discord between daughter-in-law and mother-in-law would be resolved very soon, and the home would become a center of peace